Hi and welcome back to Mike Makes It. Well, we're not looking at the Defender today. It's the Cooper S we got. Battery's playing up. I'll show you the alarm. Just up in the car, tick. Right, we'll turn the engine off. And there you go. Battery discharged, battery level very low, start engine immediately and recharge. As in the display, so the battery isn't very well. Car's about 5 years old, so they tell me with the battery management system on these cars now, they're good for about 3.5 to 8 years. Whereas in the jolly old truck there, 3 years and that's it, new battery. However, on the truck, I need a spanner to change it. On this thing, I need a lot more. I'll go show you what I got on the bench. On my Land Rover, to change the battery, I need one spanner. On the Mini Cooper S 2016, I need this. A little bit more extreme. I need a computer system to log into the Mini's computer system to tell it I've changed the battery. And I've got to input details of the new battery. So the computer system knows how to charge it, basically. I need another cable that keeps the OBD2 port alive, and also all the computer system and the sat-nav in the Mini. Otherwise, it's like factory restart, and heaven knows I'm going to get into trouble. So I've got a cable to keep the OBD2 port up and running okay while the battery's out, while I'm swapping it. And I need a power supply for the memory adapter or for the memory card. So I'm going to use this, a NoCo Boost HD. It's a jump starter basically for any vehicle near enough. But I'm going to use this. This is going to supply me 12 volts and the associated cables that come with it for the old memory cable. So that's what we're about. I'll open the bonnet up of the Mini and I can show you what I've got to do to start removing the battery. And once I get to the stage of just before pulling the cables out from the battery, I'm going to put the memory cable into the OBD2 port and power it up. So yeah, over to the truck, over to the Mini today. Battery's under here, as you probably appreciate, with a positive cover there. I've not done one of these before, so you'll have to bear with me, but this top assembly's coming off, rubber weather strip and the airbox. Then the battery's got another panel at the front that'll lift out, or the battery compartment has another panel that'll lift out, and the battery will slide forward. Interestingly, this battery's rated at about 800 cca. The Land Rover is rated at 1100 cca. So it's similar sort of capacity, although this is a stop-start battery, which is totally different makeup to the battery on the Land Rover. Anyhow, enough talking. Let's crack on with it. Right, I hope some of that made sense. A couple of big bolts for this panel. One down here, one under this little panel there, which I managed to get to without totally removing it. And a few little clips along the top. Out with the airbox, disconnected the minimum we needed to do. I had to take this one off. This was a little rubber mount to the side, but you saw me do that. So we're pretty well ready to remove the battery. I've disconnected the clamp that's down the bottom here. On the negative terminal at the back, there's a intelligent battery sensor. It'll detect the charge of the battery, the voltage, etc., and relays that information back to the computer, how I understand it. So we're going to disconnect, I believe they say disconnect the negative terminal first, which we'll do. Going to leave the intelligent battery sensor connected to the negative terminal because it's one complete unit. But I'm just going to move the cable to one side, disconnect the positive, lift this up out of the way. Then you've got a nice lot of room here to slide the battery out. But what I must do first is put on the memory saver into the OBD2 socket. So I'll go and grab that. I'll go show you how I'm going to do that. Then it's back to the battery and out it comes. Right, okay, that's what I'm going to use as the battery backup source, that NoCo Boost HD. I've connected the cables that come with it through here to a little cigarette type lighter adapter to the OBD2 port that I'm going to plug into the Mini. I've made sure we got 12 volts coming through here, and I haven't been sold a duffin. And on the Mini, on the English cars, on the right hand drive cars, the OBD2 port is just on the driver's door behind the little flap there. So pop that out. Hopefully I'm not going to destroy the computer in the car. Plug that in. No bangs or flashes, which is good. Just making sure that really is home. Still got power here going to it. So out with the battery. Right, okay, ready to go with the battery. I've got the new one ready to go back in. 10mm bolts by the looks of it on each of the terminals. I'm going to take the negative one off first. You haven't got to undo the nut fully, just loosen it. And hopefully I can, a little bit of a wiggle in, that'll come off. Yep, it's on the move. Right. That's up out the way. What I haven't done, I could have done with insulating that. I don't want it to be flashing and banging onto the terminal, because that might mess the computer up. I'll just disconnect that. That's for that intelligent battery sensor, which is here, built into the cable. So we'll hook that up out the way. That looks nice and safe. Positive terminal. Loosen that again. You've got a gas vent here just to let any fumes out of the battery, so I'm going to pull that up over to one side. Another wiggle of this. We should be able to lift that out enough to slide the battery out. Now we're pretty much clear there. So there we go. Does have handles on the battery. It's that big, it needs two handles. So lift that up out the way. And off shot, I'm struggling with it, put it on the floor. I'm checking it against the new one I'm putting in, which is a Varta Silver Dynamic AGM battery. It is a stop-start battery, which is what we want. Terminals are the right way round, which is always good. Gently put that in. If I've measured it right and I've ordered it correctly, it'll go straight back in. And it does. So, sliding the positive terminal back on, get it down the battery post as far as you can. A little bit of a wiggle. Tighten it back up, not silly tight. And that's just sort of, yeah, I think that's good. Get that ready to go back on. That's a negative. I'm plugging the battery back in, or the cable back into the intelligent battery sensor. And again, same as the other terminal really, make sure it's seated, because they are slightly tapered, so you want a good fit, then tighten it up, and you know you're going to have a good purchase of the connection there. That's back in. We've got the vent to put back on. It doesn't come, the battery doesn't come with a vent pipe or vent nipple really. So I'm going to pull it out the old battery, swap it over and put this pipe back on. That's simply Just pull that out. Pop that in. Pipe back on. I'll clamp it all back in a minute. What I'm more anxious to do is to get out the memory saver. I want to disconnect that so it's going over to this battery. I've checked it before, we got 12 volts in it, so that is fully charged from the factory, which is good. So I'll just go pull out the memory minder and we'll move over to the computer, see if we can work out how we got to tell the computer system on the Mini that it's got a nice new battery. So we'll do that now. We'll go over to the computer in a minute. What I'm going to do is bolt this back in because I need to start the engine for the computer system. Or I say computer system, the diagnostic tool I've got that plugs into the computer system on the car. I need the engine running for that. So it's probably not a good idea to have the engine running with a lot of nuts and bolts sitting on top of it. So simply it's reverse procedure to how I took it out. And you saw me do that, but by all means watch as we do it. There it is. Thought I lost 13mm spanner. It's actually the same as the truck, 13mm spanner to get the battery in and out. So only need one tool. Right, I'm not going to do that silly tight. That's nipped the battery in, which is good. We're all good there. I was just making sure there was no plug that I had to remove for the vent. But no, we're good to go. Right, I'm going to leave this off for a minute because it won't matter about that. I'll take the spanners and bits and bobs away and the battery cover. Move that somewhere safe. But it's all back together, certainly enough for us to fire the car up. But we need to check the diagnostic system, so tell it what battery it's got, so we'll do that now, as promised. Right, okay, the car started, so that's all good. I just need to tell the computer system in the car what battery it's got. So I've plugged the diagnostic port in there, and the other end of the cable comes up to a newly purchased Ancel FX3000 diagnostic system. It's the first time I've used it, so forgive me if I make a few mistakes, but it's not touchscreen, as you can see. You've got almost like a joystick here. There's an enter button and a return button. So diagnostics, yes please. Scan, review, reset. So I'm going to move that down to reset because I'm resetting the battery. Press enter. Reset BMS. That's what we want to do. Move over to there. Press enter. What car have we got? Well, it is a BMW Mini, but I think Mini are listed separately, which they are. So we click enter. Hopefully this is focusing for you okay. It says checking files, please wait. I am. I'm still waiting. Turn on ignition. Well, I have. I'm going to click OK. Read in vehicle information, please wait. Again. Automatic scan. Why not go for an automatic scan? See what it's got to say. Connecting. Right. Now it's come back with some information. It's got the VIN code off the vehicle. Mode 4. Not sure what that means. Model 2000. Going to click OK. Connecting description of intelligent battery sensor. I'm going to click OK, and you might be able to read that offline. The following components are described. Battery, intelligent battery sensor. Click OK. The BMW Series 5. Right, okay. Did you get all that? I'm going to click back now, because what I want to do is perform register battery change. Not very well, good English, but there you go. Click OK for that. Communicating. Display kilometre reading of the last battery change. Well, let's have a look at that then. If a different battery capacity or different battery type was recently retrofitted, the new battery capacity will not be indicated properly in the diagnosis until the terminal has been changed. Battery history of the last battery change will be deleted while programming the engine electronics. Always a bit scary when it says things like that. Right, currently registered 81 amp hour battery, last replacement. Well, we don't know when the last one was because it didn't have one. So I've got to click OK. Register battery replacement, so that's what we're going to do. Battery replacement is entered in the DME, DDE in the next test step. The engine does not have to be running and terminal 15 on. The entry cannot be cancelled. Currently registered battery capacity 81 amp hours. Enter battery replacement. The battery replacement is entered in the engine electronics. Please wait. Communicating. Basically, it's exactly the same capacity as came out. It says 81 amp hours on the system, but it was an 80 amp hour battery that could not come. It's 80 amp hour battery that came out. It's just really what it says. Battery change could not be registered. Possible causes: no communications. Battery terminals. Oh, I do have to switch it off. Okay, so let's turn the engine off. Should have done what I said first time, Mike. Right, enter battery replacement. Same capacities flashing up there. Let's just have a look. Communicate. Battery, yeah, we've already done this. Just bear with me. Please wait again. Communicating, please wait. As long as it doesn't say turn the engine on, we'll be alright. Battery replacement was registered successfully. Well, knock me down with a cabbage. It's entered the kilometres for me. It's put the battery in. Second, well, I've got nothing else to do. It's done it. Click OK. Wow. OK. End. End test module. Well, that's it. We're done. So, this unit, horrible price, more than the battery. £220 from Amazon. Seemed to do the trick. I'll say you can get cheaper systems, but they're restricted. Some will let you look at the battery, but not update it. So, well, I could have put a different capacity in there and got away with it okay. With this system, with a cheaper system, you might not have been able to do that. Nevertheless, hopefully this system will be useful in the future. So, yeah, we're spotting frog. We're done. New battery in, car's happy, started. It's got a full charge. If any issues with this, I'll come back to you. But as usual, all the links will be in the description. And if you found the video useful, I'm more than happy to get a thumbs up and perhaps subscribe to the channel, because there's going to be more Videos of varying nature on the way to you. Anyhow, thanks for watching.